Once upon a time, a Nigerian vice president was fortunate to have power thrust upon him by providence. It may not have been, but there was a vacuum that must be filled. He became president and served out 2 years of an existing mandate. At the end, he longed for another 4 years in power. But the question was if this man could be trusted. He begged to be given another chance to rule, even if for only 4 years. But again, the question arose, can this man be trusted? Stakeholders from across the country were drawn to the table. The existing zoning arrangement for the presidency was shelved. An understanding was reached and a pact was sealed that President Goodluck Jonathan would rule for another 4 years only.
And therefore supports and endorses President Goodluck Jonathan to contest the 2011 election as the PDP presidential candidate for a period of 4 years only.
Just as he craved. But 3 years down the line, Mr. President set out to deny, alter, and possibly demolish the mutual agreement that brought him to office.
President, was there any time you signed or entered into an agreement that you're going to
No, I've not signed agreement with anybody.
Was there a gentleman agreement that
now, if I have signed agreement, they would have sued you. I didn't say, oh, Jonathan is not going to contest election, not going to contest anyway.
But truth is resilient. It never dies. Now the question on the lips of every Nigerian is, did President Goodluck Jonathan actually enter into a one-term agreement? Sit back, judge for yourself as the truth unfolds. January 31st, 2011. The Nigerian Television Authority in its 9 p.m. network news reported President Goodluck Jonathan's trip to Addis Ababa, where he addressed Nigerians at the Embassy Conference Hall.
President Goodluck Jonathan says he will not contest for the presidency in 2015. The president, who is in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia for the AU summit, he was speaking to Nigerians resident in Ethiopia, most of them working in the African Union and the United Nations.
On the 26th of March 2011, at the Eagle Square, Abuja, the then Board of Trustees chairman of the PDP and former president of Nigeria, Chief Olusegun Obasanjo, rendered a glowing commendation to President Goodluck Jonathan for opting to serve for only one term. He even described President Jonathan's resolve as statesmanly. And the president was seated right there with his wife.
There is press report that Dr. Goodluck Jonathan has already taken a unique and unprecedented step of declaring that he will only want to be a one-term president. Whether we know it or not, that is a sacrifice, and it is statesmanly.
On the 16th of December 2010, the NTA reported the endorsement of a one-term agreement between President Jonathan and 20 PDP governors led by Governor Shema, implying that Jonathan will not contest the 2015 presidential election.
Meanwhile, a 3-point communique issued at the end of an emergency meeting of PDP governors said it recognizes the Erodwa Jonathan ticket and therefore supports and endorses President Goodluck Jonathan to contest the 2011 election as the PDP presidential candidate for a period of 4 years only. 20 governors signed the communique.
Same day, the African Independent Television, AIT, corroborated the report of the one-term agreement between the governors and President Jonathan.
Reports just coming in say President Goodluck Jonathan has entered into an agreement with all the state governors of the People's Democratic Party that he will only be in office for 4 years if he wins the party's presidential primaries and the elections. This is the highlight of 2 days of negotiations between the governors and the president in a bid to resolve the contentious issues which stalled the party's National Executive Council meeting for 2 days.
July 2011, the president himself echoed the one-term agreement at the PDP NEC meeting shortly after his swearing in, where he said that his tenure will end in 2015.
The tenure
of Jonathan Goodluck and Nnamdi Kanu will end by 29th of May 2015.
Not too long after, Dr. Reuben Abati, the special advisor to the president on media, reaffirmed Mr. President's commitment to the one-term deal and his Addis Ababa proclamation.
Is resolute in upholding that statement. I think the statement he made in Ethiopia, in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia, just before the elections, was that he will not seek a second term in office.
In 2011, the chairman of the Northern Governors Forum, Governor Babangida Aliyu, confirmed the signing of a one-term agreement with President Jonathan in an interactive radio program in Kaduna.
And I recall at that discussion, because we were to sign paper confirming, at that discussion it was agreed that President Jonathan will serve one term. And we all signed.
December 15, 2010, at the PDP NEC meeting, NEC agreed that President Jonathan can only complete the remaining 4-year second term of the Yaradua Jonathan mandate. This NEC stipulated as precondition for supporting Jonathan in 2011.
If this president was alive today, we will not be contesting his right to run for a second term under our national constitution. It will be his entitlement. That being the case, the party believes rightly that Dr. Goodluck Jonathan, who is part and parcel of that mandate, has a right to contest the remaining of that joint ticket in 2011.
In 2013, the former president maintained that President Jonathan indeed agreed to a one-term deal.
There is one issue that the President Jonathan said, and not only once, twice, publicly, not only in Nigeria, outside Nigeria, that he has one term. And he said that to me, and I said that.
We cannot all be wrong. Not even the director of his presidential campaign, Alhaji Dalhatu Tafida, was left out in the public affirmation of the one-term pact. September 17, 2010, addressing a news conference to herald Jonathan's declaration to contest in 2011, Tafida said in answer to a question, "Goodluck Jonathan is spending the balance of 4 years left in the Yaradua Jonathan ticket, and all that I can say is that this is the intention of Goodluck Jonathan. We should give him the 4 years and see how he performs. In any case, this is intention, to spend the balance of 4 years only." No matter what may be at stake, Nigerians, the words of a president must bear integrity. Former Vice President Atiku Abubakar clearly captured public expectations of Mr. President during the PDP presidential primaries in 2011 when he said, "Our words must be our bond."
That is not the kind of person who would entrust the fate of this country. Our word must be our bond.
Former President Olusegun Obasanjo also shared similar sentiments and said as much.
And I believe that one of the things that is very important in the life of any man or any person is that he must be a man or a person of his word. That to me, that is important. You must be trusted. Your word must be your word.
The president was silent when the PDP NEC agreed to a one-term pact with him. He was silent when Obasanjo commended him for opting to serve for one term only. He was silent when NTA reported his agreement with the 20 governors to run and serve for only one term. He was silent when the AIT also reported the one-term pact. And of course, he was silent when his media aide Dr. Reuben Abati and campaign DG Alhaji Dalhatu Tafida affirmed that he was serving just one term. And the question is, would the stakeholders who agreed to back him in 2011 have done so if they knew he was actually planning to be in office for 10 years? This is a clear case of a mandate obtained by deceit. When barefaced lies become instruments of governance, leadership is imperiled. Nigerians, is this the leader we deserve? Let your votes respond to these lies. Truth never dies. This message is supported by the PDP Stakeholders Forum, Lawyers in Defense of Democracy, and the National Youth Leaders Council.